Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Hi, Cooking with Chewy. Today, I got another one for you. How about some Cinnabon copycat cinnamon rolls? These things are killer. Super sweet, super cinnamony. Oh, and that icing that's on there, sweet, sweet icing. Oh, you guys got to try this stuff out. So meet me at the chopping block. We're going to throw this together. We're going to make these things. We're going to try them out. So let's go. Let's do it. Okay, let's get these cinnamon rolls thrown together. First thing we got to do is we got to make the dough. So in my stand mixer, I have got a cup of some milk that I warmed up between about 110 degrees or so. You don't want it too hot, because what we're going to do is we're going to add in our sugar, which is a half a cup of sugar. And then we're going to take 2 teaspoons of our dry activated yeast. We're going to pop that in there. We'll just pop this down, lock it in real quick, turn on just to mix it up. Alright, so we're just going to let that sit there for a minute, let that yeast get going. When it's nice and foamy, we'll bring it back. Alright, don't know if you guys can see that, but my yeast inside this milk and sugar is starting to activate and bubble just a little bit. So what I am going to do is I'm going to drop my head down in my stand mixer. Now that I got the head of my stand mixer down, I'm going to set this on just a low, and I'm going to start adding in all my other ingredients. Here I've got 2 eggs that I've beaten up. I want to add that in there. I have 1/3 of a cup of butter that I'm going to add on here. I also have a teaspoon of salt that I'm going to drop on in here. Now everybody says adding salt to your yeast early is going to kill it. Well, yeah, if you add enough, it'll kill it, but that, I ain't got to worry about that. Now, while this is going with the stand mixer, what I'm going to want to do, shut this off here for a second and lift this up. This is 4.5 cups of flour. So I'm going to add that on in there. Put my head back down, make sure I lock it in. Now I'm going to put this on a real low setting to start. And just let that start incorporating. Now this should come out to be a fairly sticky dough, so we'll see as this goes along. If we have to add just a hair bit more milk, we will. As you can see here, just after a couple minutes, a shaggy dough is starting to form. Get that all scooped off down there just to show you it is pretty sticky dough right now. And it should stay about that stickiness. So let's keep this mixing, and it's going to, once it mixes fully together, we'll bring it right back. Alright, our dough has come together, or starting to come together. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop this head back down, and I'm going to let this thing knead for the next, I'd say 7 minutes, I believe. Alright, my dough's been going for 7 minutes now, so I'm going to kick it off, unlock my head, and take a peek. Should come off the sides of your bowl nice and clean. Yeah, it's a little on the sticky side too, so it has real nice pull to it. So I'm going to let this sit here for just 1 second while I get my other bowl ready. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my dough out of my mixer bowl. Yeah, look at that. Thing of beauty. And what I am going to do is plop it down in a lightly oiled bowl. kind of swirl it around a little bit and get that thing set right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this up with a piece of saran wrap. And I'm going to let this dough rest for the next 45 minutes to an hour, 15, maybe hour and 20, till this really doubles in size. So when that's ready, we'll bring you back. Okay, while I'm waiting for my dough to rise, I'm going to get the filling ready. So what I need for the filling is a half a cup, some brown sugar. Glad that didn't land on my foot. Then I'm going to add in 2 cups of regular white sugar. Now I know you're thinking, holy crap, Chewy, that's a lot of sugar. Yeah, it is. And to this, I'm going to add in 2 nice heaping tablespoons of cinnamon. Now just to kick this up just the extra notch, what I'm going to do is I got some fresh nutmeg. I'm just going to give this I need a bit of a grind just to bring out the extra flavor in the cinnamon. Don't need a whole lot of this stuff. It is super potent. And just take a fork. Get everything mixed together. So once I get this mixed up, bring it right back. Okay, we got our mixture of sugar, cinnamon, and brown sugar set up. The only thing we need left to stuff these cinnamon rolls with is butter. A whole stick of butter. Make sure it's nice and soft and at room temperature because we got to spread it out all over this. So when we're ready to do this next step, we'll bring you right back. All right, it's been just over an hour and my dough has definitely doubled in size. So what I'm going to do is kind of punch it down a little bit. Man, that's good, nice dough. Now I'm going to lightly flour my work area. So you don't want this dough sticking to your bench. You're also going to want to flour up your rolling pin. Get to know it a little better than what you want to. All right, so what I'm going to do is take my dough here. I'm going to try to start working it into a rectangular shape. And now that I got it kind of rectangular, get my rolling pin out and just start rolling it out. You're not going to get it perfectly rectangular, just do the best you can. But you do kind of want to get it thin and a very uniformed size. If you notice your dough starts sticking any, just make sure you keep everything nice, lightly floured. All right, now I got it nice and rolled out, nice and flat, probably about 1/8 of an inch thick. That stick of butter we had laying aside, getting down to nice soft room temperature, and take that and plop it right down on the middle of that dough. Then we'll get our spatula. We're just going to spread this butter all over this dough. Make sure you cover every square inch of it because that's what your sugar mixture's got to stick to. Alright, now that we got our dough pretty adequately buttered, I believe, we're going to take our sugar and cinnamon mixture. We're going to very liberally coat this whole entire pastry. And make sure you get it all the way on them edges. You want full coverage on this thing. If you lose a little off the edge, that's all right. I don't think you're gonna miss too much. All right. Now that we got that all coated with the sugar, start on one of our long edges here. Gonna get this rolled up. Definitely want to get this nice and rolled kind of snug. So that way when we cut this, all that sugar and butter stays inside. And as you're rolling, just give it a little bit of a tug back just to keep the dough kind of taut. There we go. Make sure everything's nice uniform size all the way across. Make sure that bottom seals up. Kind of give it a little bit of a pull across. Anything loose you might see. Alright, we got that ready. Now let's get our pan set up. Just set him off to the side for just a few minutes. Alright, now to get my pan ready before I cut my dough, I'm going to lightly spray it with some non-stick cooking spray. Take a piece of parchment paper, push it down in there. Try to get it nice and flat as I can. If you have to, go ahead and cut down the edge with your scissors. Just helps make cleanup a little bit easier at the end. Alright, now I'm going to set that off to the side. Let's bring our dough back up here. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this thing in half. And then each half, I'm just going to keep half in each half. Alright, now after I cut them, let's go ahead, put them pinwheel side up. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? We're just going to start lining this pan. And I'm going to give a little bit of room in between each one, about an inch, because these are going to go for a second rise. Let's get this other one here cut up. Get that pan loaded and we'll bring it right back. Okay, I got my rolls in their pans. I ended up getting a pan and a half out of these. Now what I'm going to do is I want to take a damp paper towel, damp dish rag, just lightly lay it over across the top of these things just to help keep them from drying out for their second rise. Now these are going to rise for the next 45 minutes or so until they just about double in size again. Okay, now that our rolls are on their second rise, what you'd like to do, that's when I like to get my icing ready. So what I got here is a block of room temperature cream cheese, to which I am going to add I'm going to add 1 stick of some very soft butter. Softer the better. I'm also going to add in the zest of 1 lemon, and about 2 teaspoons worth of the lemon juice. See who gets the booby prize with the seed that fell in there. All right. Now with my mixer, I'm going to put this on a low. We're just going to start creaming this together. As you can see, we got our cream cheese and butter nice and creamed together. Let's get that head back down. Going to put this on very low so we don't make a huge, actually, we're going to put in a little bit of our powdered sugar first so we don't make a giant mess when this thing, trying to put this in here. I want to put about half of it in here first. I've got 2 cups worth of powdered sugar. And just slowly keep adding in the rest of it. Once we get that in there, we'll slowly turn up the speed and get this stuff whipped together. And of course, don't forget every now and again, go ahead and scrape down the sides, make sure get that sugar down in there. All right, let's give this one more whip and we'll go stick it in the fridge. All right, get them edges scraped down one more time. Everything's down in the bottom of the bowl. Scrape off your beater. And just go plop this in the fridge until your rolls are ready to be iced. Give a little bit of time for this icing to really come together. So when we're ready for the next step, we'll bring you right back. All right, let's check our rolls out. They've been rising now for about 40 minutes. And as you can tell, they've puffed up quite nicely. I mean, really, check those out. Those things are beautiful. What I'm going to do is put these in the center of a 400-degree oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. We're going to check them at 12 to make sure they're cooking nicely, not getting too browned up. So when we're ready to check on them, we'll bring it back. All right, now for the hard part. 12 to 15 minutes of waiting. All right, we are at 12 minutes. So you can see they're looking nice and plump. We're going to give them about another 3 more minutes and then we're going to pull them out. All right, it's time to pull these bad boys out of the oven. Let's see what we got. Oh, look at that. Still all bubbling. Nice golden brown color. So we're just going to set those down, let them cool off for a few minutes before we ice them up. So when these things cool off, we will bring you right back. All right, it's time to get these bad boys iced up. I pulled my icing out of the freezer. All I'm going to do is take a nice big glop, put on top of each one of these, kind of spread it around a little bit. Don't have to worry about being shy with the frosting. Heck, even when I go to Cinnabon, I order extra frosting with these things. Okay, we got these things frosted up, so let's plate one up and see how they look and give it a try. Got my plate ready. Dig me out one of these cinnamon rolls. Get this one right here on the corner. He looks like a willing participant. All right, yeah. Check that bad boy out. Doesn't that look good? Oh yeah. Doesn't that look good? Let's give this bad boy a taste. All right, let's give this thing a taste, see how it is. I mean, come on, check that out. All ooey gooey, all that icing, the cinnamon. Oh, get a piece there off the edge. Give it a try. Super soft roll. Oh man. And the tang and the icing from that lemon. This is exactly almost dead on like eating an actual Cinnabon. You guys got to try, definitely make this. You won't be disappointed. Your family's going to love it. Remember, hey, you like what you see, don't forget, hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button down there. Don't forget to hit the bell icon, because that lets you know when I put out the new videos. So, hey, stick around. There's more coming. And always remember, never trust a skinny cook.